Welcome back to Mysteries of Haitian Vodou. I'm Natara Rose, and as always, I'm here with my co host, Papa Mystique. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most visually powerful and spiritual profound elements in voodoo, the Veve. Papa, are you ready?
Absolutely. This is one of the most important conversations that we can have because the Vev isn't just a drawing, it's a living symbol. It's a sacred bridge between us and the spirits that are in the invisible world.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. What exactly is a Veve?
The Vev is a sacred symbol, it's a ritual diagram. Some people call it a cosmogram. It represents the link between the spiritual and the earthly realms. Like I said, think of it as a cosmogram. It channels celestial energy, and each line is more than just a shape. It's actually a call. It's a signal to the law. It's how we, Voodooism, communicate with the divine.
So these are actual visual codes used to summon spirits?
Exactly. Each Vev corresponds to a specific law. The symbols are drawn using sacred geometry. They're not just random. They actually follow an ancient code that's tied to the very origins of language and communications. And some people believe that these symbols predate written alphabets. They're spiritual hieroglyphs.
And that's amazing. And you mentioned that it's not just African roots, but also Taino.
Right. So the Vev, it carries a deep ancestral memory. It does trace back to African traditions, particularly the Dahomey and the Congo kingdoms. But it also carries the spiritual imprint of the Taino people of Haiti. When we trace the Vev, we're also honoring the land, the spirits of that land, and those who walk before us, our ancestors.
How are these verbs used in ceremony? Like, when does it happen?
With the Vev, it always happens at the very start. The Vev is traced at the beginning of every voodoo ceremony. It's part of the règlement that we've discussed on this podcast previously. A règlement is the sacred structure of the rite. So it's drawn either in front of the altar or the pied, which we say in Creole, or in front of the table, in front of the baji, and it's mostly drawn around the potomitan, which is the center pole of the temple, which is considered the central axis of the cosmos. This pole, the potomitan, is called the axis mundi, the world axis. It is symbolic of the universal axis, and the vev is its energetic language.
Who actually draws the verb? Is it the Ugan or the Mongbo?
Sometimes, but most often, it's the trusted voodooism, someone who is chosen for their skill and their precision. This person has more than likely memorized the vevs, not just the shapes, but the feeling, the rhythm, how they trace the vev from memory is actually a ritual within itself. They understand the energy in every pore of the flour or the cornmeal or the coffee or the sacred powders that they use. They feel it. And understand this, it's always done from memory, never from sketches. It's just their spirit and steady hands.
Wow, that sounds like both art and a ritual combined with sacred geometry.
Yes, it is sacred geometry. That's exactly what it is. Creating a Vev is magical and it's artistic. It reveals the talent of the person drawing it because each line is filled with intention. It's not about perfection, it's about the vibration, the positive vibration, the positive frequency. It's about resonance. So the Vev, it invites the Loa to descend into the space and it creates that sacred frequency that I'm explaining.
I heard that as soon as it's drawn, it starts to disappear, that it doesn't last.
Yes, that's actually part of the mystery. The Vev is temporary by design. Once the ceremony begins, well, the Vev is fed first. Once the Vev is traced, the Hungan or Mambo, they offer libations. They pour, drink over it, whether rum or depending on who the Loa is, who's being honored through the Vev. They pour libations on it. And then the Vev is ceremonially fed. They give it food, what they call manger Loa. And so once that is done, then, the Loa, they arrive because all this is about inviting the Loa, right? So once the Loa arrive and the ceremony begins, then the dancers, they start to stomp on it, literally stomping on the Vev, and their movements slowly erase the image of the Vev. So by the time the Loa arrive, the Vev is broken down into a powder, and that destruction is symbolic. It shows that the portal has opened. It shows that the spirits have come. It shows that the work is in motion.
Like creation, purpose, and then dissolution.
That's exactly what it is. From spirit to symbol and back again. The Vev completes its purpose, then disappears just like breath.
Is there a deeper symbolism in the actual designs? I've seen some of your webs from your book, and I've seen stars, triangles, and spirals.
Absolutely. Every part of the Vev has a meaning. Take, for example, the triangles that you see within certain Vevs. The triangles represent three major rites in voodoo: the Rada, Petuo, and Congo. It also symbolizes the mystical union between Ezuli, who is love, and Danbala, who is with wisdom, and it's Legba, who opens the gates between them.
So love and knowledge come together to open the doors.
Yes, and that's deep because the Hungan I once spoke with said something powerful. Love without knowledge is like a flood, it destroys. And knowledge without love is like a dry river, it's lifeless. You need both to truly walk the spiritual path.
So, what about those intertwining V's?
Right. Like on the Aizin Vev. On the Aizin Vev, it has those intertwining V's. They're sacred too. They represent the union of masculine and feminine, the merging of dualities, the recreation of the original androgynous being. It's the balance of all forces, the yin and the yang, the sun and the moon. fire, and water.
And the stars?
The stars that you see in the Veves represent Ife, the sacred city, but their number matters. You see, in voodoo, every number in voodoo has a purpose. 3, 7, and especially the number 21. 21, that's our limit. In voodoo, we say 21 is the number of completion. Beyond that, we return back to the start, back to the spirit, back to origin.
So you're saying it's all a cycle: creation, purpose, then return?
Yes, just like the Vev.
Let's take it back a moment. You said earlier that the Vev is like a language. Can you explain more on that?
Yeah, I will. Think of it like this. Before there was written language, there were symbols. The Vev encodes sound, spirit, and meaning into shape. It's a way of calling, not just the law, but to the universe itself. That's why tracing a Vev is not just a ritual, it's a conversation with creation itself.
Indeed. It's like the more we learn, the more I feel like we're only scratching the surface.
And that's exactly how voodoo is. You're always learning in voodoo. It doesn't matter how long you've been practicing voodoo, you are always a student. You are always learning. Voodoo is very dynamic. I mentioned this in my book. You know, I talk about the dynamics of voodoo, that it is, while it has been preserved, traditionally preserved, you know, since ancient times, at the same time, it is very dynamic. It is constantly changing. So the deeper you go in voodoo, the more you realize there's more. It's like the Vev tree metaphor. Some only see the shadow, others touch the trunk. A few climb the branches, but only the lightest, those who have truly mastered balance, reach the crown.
And from the crown, you can see the whole world.
The entire universe. Yes, the spirit world, the visible, the invisible, and most of all, you see yourself.
Thank you for walking through this sacred practice with us. To all our listeners, feel free to go back and re listen to this podcast. And if you'd like to see some verbs for yourself, we've got some illustrations up at www.papamystique.com.
Yeah, go check out the website. Go look. PapaMystique.com. Don't just see them, feel them. Each curve carries a history. Each line speaks to a spirit. And remember, you are the reflection of the universe, and the universe is a reflection of you.
Until next time, follow us on social media and YouTube at Papa Mystique.
Right, yes. So, and on YouTube, we're at Papa Mystique. On TikTok, we're at Papa Mystique as well. On Instagram, we're Papa.Mystique or Papa_Mystique, as well as on X. You know, everywhere we are, we're basically Papa Mystique. So please do follow us, support us on social media. If you want to learn more about Haitian Voodoo, you want to see us continuing doing this, please share, like, follow, spread the word. Also, the book is available on my website, www.papamystique.com. If you want to pre-order the book, Mysteries of Haitian Vodou, which is the most comprehensive book written on Haitian Voodoo in the last 50 years. This book has everything inside of it. If you want to pre-order the book, you can pre-order. We have a pre-order sale going on right now. The book will be released and shipped on May 2nd if you pre-order. So please support us by going to www.papamystique.com. We'd love to see you purchase the book, grab the book, and support us. Tell someone about our website. Support us. Support us on social media. Share the pages. Share the videos. Tell someone about it so that we can continue this work. And I just want to thank all our supporters that are supporting us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We appreciate you. We see every follow. Thank you very much for your support. And until next week, Ayibobo.
Ayibobo.